Hello folks, I am Giuliano and today we're going to learn some English with a movie called Before Sunrise. It's an excellent movie from 1995 with the American actor Ethan Hawke and the French actress Julie Delpy. In this movie, they are an American guy and a French girl who meet totally by chance in a train going to Vienna, Austria, and start having a conversation. And the movie is about this very long conversation that they have during an entire day that they spend together in Vienna. It's really a great movie. I recommend it to all of you. So we're going to take a look into a scene of this movie. It has around 3 minutes and I'm going to show you a little bit of the scene and then I'm going to comment on a few words that I think that are important. And then we're going to continue the scene and I'm going to do the same thing, that is explaining a few words and expressions. So that's how it's going to happen. If you want to watch the entire scene beforehand, you can watch it here on YouTube. I'm going to put the link here in the description of the video and then you watch my explanation for it. So let's start.
Now I'm gonna call my best friend in Paris, who I'm supposed to have lunch with in 8 hours. Okay?
Okay.
As you can see, they are in a restaurant here having a conversation and she wants to play a game with him. She wants to pretend that she's going to call a friend of hers who is in Paris and she tells him that I am supposed to have lunch with my friend. So the expression that I would like to highlight here is this: to be supposed to. This expression indicates expectation. Something is expected from you. When she says, I am supposed to have lunch with her, she means that her friend is waiting for her to have lunch together. They had plans. That's what it means. I would like to give you other examples. Let's see. You are supposed to arrive at work on time. You are supposed not to be late for work. That is, it is expected that you arrive at work on time. A clown is supposed to make us laugh. Doctors are supposed to save lives. Politicians are not supposed to be corrupt. Politicians are supposed not to be corrupt. I am a translator, therefore I am supposed to write well. Everything that I mentioned here is expectations that we have for people or for us. We can also use this expression in other verb tenses. For example, in the past, when I was a child, I was supposed to go to school every day. I should go to school every day. That was expected from me. And in the future, for example, next year I will go to London and I will be supposed to speak English with people. That is, when I go to London, everyone will expect me to speak English with them. So this expression is very used in English, to be supposed to. That means an expectation. Let's go to the next part.
Dring, 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 dring. Pick up. Pick up the phone.
Hello?
Allô? Vanny, c'est Céline.
Ah,
Comment ça va?
ça va bien. Et toi?
Il m'est arrivé quelque chose d'incroyable.
I've been working on my English recently. You want to talk in English just for laughs?
Yeah, okay. That's a good idea. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it for lunch today. I'm sorry.
In this part of the scene, I would like to explain the sentence I don't think I will be able to make it for lunch today. So she is talking to her friend in Paris in a phone call and explaining that she won't be able to arrive on time because she is in Vienna with this guy, right? So this expression, to make it, it means to achieve one's goals or to do what you want to do or what you had planned to do. She won't be able to arrive in Paris. She won't be able to make it for lunch. I have an example here from the World Cup in Brazil in 2014, and the example is the following. In 2014, Brazil didn't make it to the World Cup finals because of Germany. So Brazil couldn't play in the finals because it lost for Germany in that game 7-1, right? Everyone remembers that. Brazil didn't make it to the finals. The same thing that she wants to say here. She won't be able to make it for lunch. She won't arrive on time. Let's continue.
I met a guy on the train and I got off with him in Vienna. We're still there.
Are you crazy?
Probably.
He's Austrian? He's from there?
No. He's passing through here too. He's American. He's going back home tomorrow morning.
Why'd you get off the train with him?
Well, he convinced me. I mean, actually, I was ready to get off the train with him after talking to him a short while.
In this part of the dialogue, there are two very nice expressions. The first one is, I mean. She is explaining that she is still in Vienna, and then the friend asks, but why? What are you doing there? And he convinced me to stay with him. And then she says, I mean, this is to give more details. When you say, I mean, you want to give more details about what you were saying. It is the same as, in other words, that is, or what I want to say is, I mean is very informal and it's very much used. So if you want to give more details about what you are explaining, you could use it, I mean. And the other word I wanted to explain is actually. It means in fact, but in a sense when there is a contrast between two ideas. You are going to say the opposite of what you had said before. It is used to correct ideas. For example, if someone says to me, I thought you were 20 years old. And then I correct the person, no, actually, I am 19. Another example could be if someone comes to me and say, here is the biology book you asked me. And then I say to the person, actually, I had asked the mathematics book. So when you say actually, you are correcting an information. I could say, for example, I think we met 10 years ago. No, actually, it was 15 years ago. So when you say actually, you are correcting something, ideas, something that was said, or something that people thought was some way, but actually it is other way. Why did she use actually here in this dialogue? Because she had just told that he convinced her to get off the train in Vienna. But then she had second thoughts and said, no, actually, I was ready to get off the train with him. That is, she was already thinking about getting off the train with him. She already wanted to get off the train. She was prone to getting off the train. She was inclined to getting off the train. So he didn't convince her. Actually, she wanted to get off the train with him. That's why she gave this correction of ideas.
You were so sweet, I couldn't help it.
Here there is a very interesting expression that is, I couldn't help it. In this case, the verb to help means to avoid or to prevent. I couldn't avoid it. I couldn't prevent it. I couldn't do otherwise. She was so impressed with the guy. He was so sweet that she couldn't help getting off the train with him. She couldn't prevent it. When I say I can't help it, in this case it means I have to do it, or it is inevitable. You see, it usually is used like I can't help it or I couldn't help it. In that sense, I couldn't do otherwise. I couldn't do differently. Let's carry on.
We were in the lunch car, and he began to talk about him as a little boy seeing his great-grandmother's ghost. I think that's when I fell for him. Just the idea of this little boy with all those beautiful dreams. He trapped me.
So let's see what we have here. And here she talks about the great-grandmother. That is, the grandmother's mother, which is 3 generations behind. Everyone has a mother, and then the grandmother, and before her, the great-grandmother. I hope you understand. She also talks about falling in love. To fall in love. She says, that's when I fell for him. Here it means to fall in love. I fell in love for him. That is, she started loving him. Sometimes we see the person for the first time and we just fall in love with the person, and we can call it love at first sight. Love at first sight. It was love at first sight, for example. Then she says, he trapped me. What does it mean? To trap here is to fool someone or to deceive someone, because the guy talked to the girl and convinced her to stay in Vienna. It was like a trap. Do you know what a trap is? It is that kind of equipment that we put somewhere to catch mouse, for example. Let's go on.
And he's so cute. He has beautiful blue eyes, nice pink lips, greasy hair. I love it.
He has greasy hair. That is, his hair is a little bit dirty or has oil, or it could be also repulsive. That's what greasy hair means.
He's kind of tall and he's a little clumsy.
This sentence has a very nice word, clumsy. What does it mean? It means uncoordinated. That is, someone who is clumsy is someone who walks and hit the walls, can't coordinate their movements very well. Perhaps it's a person who falls on the floor very often. Once I heard someone say that a duck can walk, swim and fly, but can't do anything right. It can do all those 3 things, but in a very clumsy way. Because you see a duck walking, it's very strange. And also swimming, it's not very fast. And when he flies, also very clumsy. Some people could go as far as to say that the duck is the clumsiest animal on earth. That's a very nice observation. Let's see a little bit more.
I like to feel his eyes on me when I look away. He kind of kisses like an adolescent. It's so cute.
What?
Yeah, we kissed. It was so adorable. As the night went on, I began to like him more and more. But I'm afraid he's scared of me. You know, I told him the story about the woman that kills our ex-boyfriend and stuff.
Here in the subtitle, we can read, I told him the story about the woman that kills her ex-boyfriend. But she also says, and stuff, in the end of the sentence. And stuff here means etc. and all that. I told him that story and stuff. I told him that story and all that.
You must be scared to death. You must be thinking I'm this manipulative, mean woman.
And here we see the word mean again. But this time it has a different function. Do you remember in the beginning of the dialogue we saw the expression I mean, which means that is, in other words, what I want to say is to mean as a verb means to signify, right? But here, a mean woman, it is an adjective and it means bad or malicious. A mean person, that is a bad person.
I just hope he doesn't feel that way about me. Because you know me, I'm the most harmless person.
I'm the most harmless person. Harmless, it means someone who can't harm or can't hurt anyone else. A harmless person. You see, in English we can use this suffix less in the end of a word to mean that it doesn't happen. For example, I can harm people. The opposite would be I cannot harm people, or I am harmless. This is a harmless dog. It doesn't bite. We see that there are many words with this suffix. For example, homeless, a person without a home. Wireless can be an internet connection without wire. Countless, something that we cannot count. For example, that man is so rich, his wealth is countless. We can't count how much money he has. Endless, something without an end. For example, the life of a vampire is endless. A vampire is immortal, so to say. Fearless, someone without fear. Someone very brave or courageous. Meaningless, something without a meaning, without a purpose. Useless, something that cannot be used for anything. Oh, this computer is useless. I can't work with it. So this suffix less means that the lack of quality that we are talking about.
The only person I could really hurt is myself.
I don't think he's scared of you. I think he's crazy about you.
I would like to point out a pronunciation detail here that is very interesting. She had said before, I am afraid he is scared of me. And then, as the conversation went on, the guy says, I don't think he is scared of you. But he says in a different way, he says, I don't think he is scared of you. He doesn't say of you, but you. It's very nice because this preposition of, sometimes we can just contract it and pronounce like I'm going to give you some examples. Let's see. It is such a sunny day. There is a lot of people on the beach. I could also say, There's a lot of people on the beach. Lot of people, lot of people. I don't have all my books with me. Many of them are at my parents'. Many of them are at my parents'. Or I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. One of my favorites. It's very interesting. People talk like this all the time. And the last part of the scene, let's see.
Really?
I mean, I've known you a long time, and I got a good feeling. You gonna see him again?
We haven't talked about that yet. Okay, it's your turn. You call your friend. Okay?
All right.
So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the scene and the explanation of the words and expressions that I gave to you. And I think you could do something. You could perhaps write 2 or 3 sentences with each one of these verbs and expressions, just to exercise a little bit. Take a look at the description of this video. I'm going to put all the dialogue and the expressions that we talked about, and you could take each one of them and write a very few sentences and see how it goes. See you next time. Thank you very much for having watched this video, especially everyone who is in Vienna and everywhere else in the world.